Welcome to our first edition of the Coach's Corner with the Coach Brendan Sir. We're going to take you inside the X and O's of the Houston Rockets today. I think what you're going to really enjoy is seeing why Mike D'Antoni is so successful everywhere he coaches because of the spacing he creates, the freedom he gives his players, the angles he uses in pick and roll, the defensive decisions he forces you to make. And when they get in the open court, they come down 1-on-3 and shoot a three. I love it. The style of basketball they play is something to behold. Don't get caught up with James Harden, CP3 going one-on-one or taking people off the dribble. See why it works. We'll be back in a second. Take you right to the action. This is Houston's delay early offense. Let's take a look.
Great bounce pass to Harden.
All right, now we're going to go down. We're going to break it as we would if we were watching this to prepare to scout. Watch how the floor is opened up. Here comes a real hard curl, and then as he dribbles to him for his handoff, he's able to back cut. It's very, very popular because it opens up the court, and people want to shoot the three or drive for layups. Here's another one that's not so clean, but at least the ball is swung from the inside. Here's a pick and roll. He's trying to engage the second defender. When he does that, Capella's open on the roll. All right, this is the delay secondary break for teams that don't want to come down and go right into a quick drag or double drag action. On this, you bring the ball down either side of the floor. Your big man, your biggest player, is rather than running to post up at the rim, he's coming down and running to the top of the key. The reason that we're out in an open set like this is we want to keep the open for driving, for 4-round-1 pick and roll plays, back cuts, things like that. Trying to get the defense, because of the emphasis on three-point shooting, all these players can shoot the three and they're all behind the line. Very, very important. So when we pass the ball to the big, what we have is strong side can be involved in a two-man play, back screen, flare action, down screen, back cut, curl, or replace. On the weak side, same thing. Screen down, back screen, whatever you like, motion type offense. But the key is, other than a cut to the basket, we're going to keep the floor open. The player with the ball, the big man in the middle, he's going to do one of three things. He's either going to dribble handoff to either side and now have a dribble handoff roll to the rim. He's going to pass it to one of the players on the outside, follow his pass, pick and roll right in the elbow area so that when we come off the pick, he's going to engage that big, sprint to the rim. Or he's going to pass and screen away for the opposite wing, maybe get a cut to the basket. But from there, it's a flow type offense. There's no set plays. You're reading the defense and you're getting open shots. Trying to create off the dribble and hit open shots, three-point shots, or get to the basket for layups. Another set that Coach D'Antoni runs is what I call a double go. And what it is two-side pick and rolls. And the key is to get the defense to react. So when we rewind it here, you'll see that James Harden passes it to CP3, and then he's supposed to set the first pick. It's a sloppy one, but then when Capella sets the second one, he gets his defender to engage the ball handler, opening up a roll to the basket. Great spacing on the weak side. You got Ariza out there, and it really, spreads the court out because you can't leave three-point shooters. So any action you can get where you have four shooters, including the ball handler, around one post guy, and the big has to help, very hard to guard. If any of those bigs and guards on the weak side come in to pick up the roll man, you have three-point shooters wide open. I'm now going to show you another angle with bigger players involved on this double go. This is a more traditional double go. This is when your point guard or your ball handling guard is bringing the ball down the court in a secondary break. As he brings the ball down the court, your shooting big comes and sets that side pick and roll, trying to force a switch or his man to hedge. And here comes that second big. As the ball handler comes off, he makes sure he tries to engage him. So if the player went over that screen, he's picking up high. If for some reason he ever went low, defensive player, he's moving his pick down. You're coming off again to score, and once the first player, after he screens, he spots up behind the 3. Hopefully his man goes right with him. But on the second pick, this is your big player. He's sprinting to the rim, trying to score, layup or lob going to the rim, and shooters, if anyone on the weak side comes to help out in the roll, pass directly to the opposite corner for a 3. Spacing is key. Simple little roll and replace. Excellent movement. Dribble right into it. No set play. Double go. One of the most popular sets now in the NBA is where you have 3 players involved in stagger screens. Again, teams that like to switch, this is perfect because you're screwing them up on every cut. The 3 players involved in the stagger, they can read the defenders, they can curl, they can back cut, they can set a pick and roll, and here's a pick and pop. They're confused, they're not talking on defense, and Ryan Anderson comes up, sets a pick, slips it, and pops. Here's again the stagger. Again, they think they're going to switch. No one switches. Ariza comes off for a wide open 3. Again, now here's a curl, a middle pick and roll, and now they have a switch. Now they have the center guarding Harden. Anytime you get a switch and you have a big guarding a small, don't get confusing. Don't try to pass the ball and stuff. Have your guards take him off the dribble. Spread the court out and drive people. Again, here the player that was first running, coming off the first stagger, he came into the lane. Now he screened the big man's defender. Got him all low. Creativity by D'Antoni of what to do, how to change up. Teaching concepts as opposed to plays. Teaching your players how to read the defense. This is the art of coaching. Now here's where they have basically middle pick and roll, but a stagger. You have Harden setting the first screen, and then what they want to do is constantly spread the floor out. No one rolls to the basket. They're picking and popping, and they're playing with what we call positionless basketball. They're playing with no center right now. But they're using pick and rolls to create, uncertainty of how to guard people. I always ask people at clinics, how do you defend pick and rolls? We know there's 5-6 ways to defend them, but what do you do? And this is against switching. This is against zoning up. Whatever you want to do, he's got an answer for you. It's so important to have in your offensive repertoire options, counters, as I like to call them. So as you're coming down the floor and you've run all these stagger type actions, all of a sudden you're reading the defense and your guard just turns and takes his man off the dribble, tries to get a layup. Good teams are taught, do not help off the corner. Inevitably, they will come and help off the corner, so you're open for a wide open 3. As that action is happening, okay, you might get this happening, so that now as the player readjusts and we throw it to him and there's no layup, all of a sudden he brings the ball out, he swings it to the top, and now you got a screen down action. Here comes 2 off of there, 3 off of there, and now you can just play out of it. But don't be afraid to read the defense, take people. It's a great way to get a quick 2 when you're trying to get 3-point shots late in the game. All of a sudden, you can get yourself a quick 2 or 3 just by beating your man off the dribble. For those of you that like to run horns plays, take your best shooter, your best scorer, and use him as one of the 2 players. This is now where Harden is the first screener. We call this a wedge or a V screen. The 2 players in the horns are coming together and trying to pick that first player. Again, wasn't a very effective screen, But all of a sudden we had Gobert, the center, pick up, Harden, get a total mismatch. So look to do things that are creative so that you have. Most of us don't practice with our guards setting picks of your guards how to defend pick and rolls as the screeners. Here's again CP3 versus their center. I know you don't have CP3 on your team, but still the concept is the right one. All right, this is what I call a drag open. As you're coming down on a break, they got back quickly. They're 5-on-5. The last big down the floor, your 5-man, he comes over and sets a screen on the player with the ball. Again, you come off to score. As you come off, you're trying to get into the lane. Big comes out, helps out, roll to the rim. The only player that can help is the 2-man coming to help out. 2 lifts, and you got a pass back here for a 3. You got a lob here, and of course you have 3s on this side of the floor. Excellent spacing. Again, the reason we like this, you're flowing into it. There's no set plays. It's simply drag open. Again, if you're a small team and you have one big, here's that drag screen. And we call this drag open. Let's roll this back and rewind this and see what happens again. Watch Capella as he comes down. No play call. He just picks Harden's man and rolls to the basket. Because now we got Harden coming off the pick and roll into the lane to score. Key thing, when you come off a pick and roll, come off to score. By coming off to score, he engages the center, and that opens up the lob pass for the basket. Key is all the other 3 players are behind the 3-point line, spaced out. Spacing is one of the best things that's done in the NBA offensively. Okay, middle pick and roll. Spread the floor out. The key on pick and rolls is to get the 2 defenders to guard the ball. Even if it's just momentarily. As soon as Horford helps out, Capella gets behind him for a layup. All right, watch now. We talk about fast break. They are kind of jogging down the court, but look at the spacing, and here comes the drag screen. This is what we call short roll. We're going to freeze it on the short roll. Short roll is when we catch the ball right between the foul line and 1 step inside of it, rather than rolling all the way to the basket. As the weak side defender, man came from the opposite corner to pick up the roll man, he leaves that 2 players wide open on the opposite side for 3-point shots. I hope you enjoyed this. Coaching you live and all the things that we try to do, our podcasts, our plays of the week, everything that we try to do to try to help you as a coach, kind of culminates July 9 and 10 in Las Vegas, where we're going to have our 10th anniversary, and we're trying to make this the best you've ever seen. 10th anniversary experience, VIP. Everyone that comes, VIP. Everyone's on the court. Everyone's courtside. Everyone's learning. You're going to have 15 of the very best coaches and speakers that we can put on that floor for those 2 days. I think you're really going to enjoy it. We're 3.5 weeks away from early registration ending. $349, $125 cheaper than our normal VIP rate. Take advantage of this. I know you're going to enjoy it. I know a lot of you will just get the videos afterwards. That's great. But the videos, the meals, your Padfolio from Coaching You, T-shirts, a goodie bag, all that's included. And an opportunity to network with some of the best coaches in the world. Please look forward to seeing you there. Go to coachingyoulive.com to register. And for those of you that just want some videos to freshen up on your X and O game, always go to coachingyou.tv. Till next week, this is the coach, Brendan Sir.